This is a video tutorial on how to create product labels for your packaging. Whether you're selling makeup, dog treats, or selling freeze-dried candy like myself, you can use this video tutorial to create product labels for any type of business that you're going to start, because the label system that I use is through Avery, which has a wide variety of different types of stickers and labels that you can easily create a template of, making it easy to replicate and copy to make more product labels for your business. If this is your first time being introduced to me, welcome. I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, which is called The Freeze Drying Business. I focus all about starting a freeze drying business and also just freeze drying in general. So if you're interested in that topic, then subscribe to this channel. I'd love for you to join our community here. Now, what I'm going to show you today is a tutorial on the templates that I've used in Avery, avery.com. This is a very common sticker and product label company that a lot of the people are used to. When you go to Staples or you go to Walmart, they have Avery labels in various different sizes. Even though there's a lot of options, you want to choose a label that accurately puts all the information that you need. So within my freeze drying business, I need to have things that can show the ingredients, but also my brand name, my contact information, as well as the weight of whatever I'm putting in the bags. Now, I've chosen the 5395 label template, and this is literally looks like a name tag sheet. It has 8 different name tags on this sheet. I put it in my printer, and then it comes out like this and prints off all my labels. So I have 8 to a sheet like this. And when you want to purchase your labels, I would suggest going through Amazon.com. The reason being is I found that Avery.com does offer all the different types of product labels, but Amazon seems to have a lot more inexpensive prices. Plus, if you have Amazon Prime, you get the free shipping. So if you're interested in purchasing, I've got some links to Avery's Amazon site. So check the link in the video description, and then you've got a direct link to the Amazon Avery kind of store. And then you can buy 5395 labels. You can find all the different products that you want on Amazon. Now, before we get to the tutorial of showing you how to create the template, I want to share with you my product. So this is my freeze-dried business. It's called Freeze Dried Depot. And I've got this kind of craft bag that is food safe, but also has this window that you can see the freeze-dried Skittles. If you've never had freeze-dried Skittles, you can check out the products in my store attached to my channel, as well as in this video link. It's really good if you've never had them. Now, this is the 5395 label that's attached to the back of my bags. I've got the name of the candy, my brand, as well as what the net weight is of the freeze-dried Skittles. Then I've got all the ingredients, and I've also got different types of dietary things that might be coming in through allergens, as well as I've got the contact information and where it's produced. So according to my local laws, I have to have that type of information to be able to sell this, both on the cottage food side, which allows you to sell homemade goods, but also I'm in a commercial kitchen, so I'm able to sell things wholesale, and I can still use this type of template before I get into the FDA side, which is a whole different ballgame. Now, if you're in the food space and you're wondering, well, don't you have to have nutrition labels? You don't actually. The FDA has an exemption for nutritional facts that you can apply for as a small business. Now, that allows you basically to sell upwards of $50,000 in gross sales for an individual product without having to have the nutrition labeling and nutritional facts on there. Check the link out in the video description. I've got a link to that FDA exemption, and you can apply to that, and therefore you don't really have to put nutrition labels on there. I would always check with your local health authority, because they would actually verify that. Some states say, yes, that's good. Other states maybe are a little bit more leery of you disclosing this, and they may say, no, I know you got the link, but you're going to have this on your product. So just check with your local health authority. I've checked with mine, and this is fine to use. Now, enough about my product. Let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial side of this video and show you how to create a quick and easy product label from scratch. All right, keeping it really simple, this is Avery.com. This is the website that you need to bookmark if you're interested in using their labels for your product. They've got a lot of things to click on. The first thing that I want you to do is decide what type of labels you want to choose. Now, you can select all products. You can also go to custom printing to look at custom labels. What I look at is blank labels as well. So you can look at rectangular, round, square, oval. There's clear ones. There's one that has white labels, color labels. There's things that have areas for addresses, all of that. But what I'm going to do is, because I use the 5395 label, I'm going to type that into the search bar. And what that's going to bring you is a couple of things. One, you can purchase the pack of 400 that I showed you directly from Avery.com. I wouldn't purchase directly from Avery.com because they aren't competitive with what you can find on Amazon. Again, if you want to purchase from Amazon, it's almost half the cost. Go to the link in the video description of this video and you'll find the link to Avery's Amazon site, and then you'll see some places selling this for half the cost. Now, before you choose to start designing, I would suggest creating your own account. That way you can organize all your different projects and files and orders directly in your profile. And that way it's a searchable database. And I'll tell you why that is later on in this video, because you'll be able to duplicate and copy so that you can create more products using the same template. Now we're going to create a completely new design. I'm going to share with you what that looks like. So you have different type of templates that they've got within the 5395 option. As you can see, there's 1400 of them. Don't overcomplicate this, but look for one that maybe makes the most sense for you. As you can see, this is kind of a name tag piece, but you can create something directly from scratch. Now, since we're creating this from scratch, we can actually add our own logo. So let's go ahead and do that. And I've already got some of my prices and different things that I've used from my account, which is why you want to create an account. I'm going to choose my logo. So I'm going to select my logo of my business, and now I can arrange it in this grid and I can stretch it out, make it as big and large as I want to. Quickly interjecting here on the tutorial, I wanted to invite you to subscribe to this channel. If you're interested in freeze drying, this is a completely new world and you can make a business that is profitable out of your freeze dryer. I review all different types of freeze dryers. I talk about how to start a business, what you should be thinking about, and also the correct ways to make your business profitable. So if you're interested in freeze drying, hit the subscribe bell right now. Now let's get back to the tutorial on creating that template. So what we need for my freeze drying business is we need the title. We also need the ingredients. We need to know how much product in terms of measurement for ounces or milliliters, whatever you're selling is on this label, as well as where it's made. I'm just going to share with you how to use this template for text and shapes and adding your different images and logos like we've done. On this left-hand side, you can click on text, just click on add text box. This is where you can type in exactly what you want. I'm going to type in freeze dried strawberry ice cream. Now you can adjust the size of this to make it however you want. And also we can move it up to the very top so it's right underneath the logo, anywhere about this. This red area that you're seeing in the template is kind of the area that's going to be for the printable area. So you don't want to, put your text over top of that red line. Now, over on the left-hand side where you have your text options, once you have the text box selected, you can select the size. So if we wanted to go up in the size of the text area, if we wanted to bold it, if we wanted to italicize it, line spacing, all of that is on the left-hand side. You can add a lot of different things in this. What I'm going to jump to though, is I'm going to jump to my actual template so that you can see how I've arranged that. But this is how you can create this from scratch. And let's go over to my projects. This is my account where I have all my different projects. And once you have an account, this is why it's important. You can then search for what you're looking for. So I make huckleberry taffy. That's freeze dried. It's delicious. It's like a malt ball that tastes and melts in your mouth. It's awesome. So I've got huckleberry taffy. And once I have this project created, I can either open it up to edit it, or I can print it off on my printer. But I can also do this. I can make a copy. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change it to a different flavor. So I'm going to change it to cotton candy taffy, and I'm going to say, hey, it's my official copy, meaning it's my final version. And now I'm going to save it, and now it's officially built my cotton candy taffy label. Now I just need to go in there and edit the contents of it, including the ingredients and the naming convention. So let's go ahead and open the project for my cotton candy taffy, and I've got it, but I need to change it around. So I'm going to click on view, and I want to flip it around so that I can see it vertically. Okay, and now we can just change this over. So we're just going to change this over to cotton candy. All right, let's go to Google and type in cotton candy taffy ingredients. And you can go to the actual cotton candy bag that you have and you can type it up physically, or if you buy it from something like Taffy Town or Amazon, they actually usually have the ingredients listed on the site. So on Taffy Town, I can go down here and I can look up that here's the ingredients for this specific type of cotton candy taffy if I'm using this. So I'm going to copy all these ingredients. I'm going to go over to the ingredients area and paste the ingredients for this cotton candy taffy. Now, when it comes to allergens and things that you want to put as it may contain, or you have been working in an environment that contains those things, you want to make sure you put that on your labels as well. If you're in freeze drying, I would make sure that that's just the default so that you can say that, hey, it contained milk or it was around eggs. And in the state of Idaho, in my health district, they require me to state where it's produced, also where people can contact me if they have an issue with my product. And then I also like to include some marketing to say, hey, if you want to follow my business or check me out more, here's some of my social media accounts that I have. So this entails what Avery Labels is able to do for you if you create your account and you start using their templates. It's all available here. And that way, when you go to avery.com and you have your account, you'll be directed to all your projects. It's a searchable database that you can quickly go and print your labels. Now let's talk about printers that you should take a look at to print these labels. Now that you're done creating your labels, you're now ready to print them off when you're gonna start putting them on your bags for selling. But what type of printer do you use? Well, if you're gonna use the 5395 template like I do, you're gonna need to have kind of a desktop type of printer. Now, I use Brother printers. You can use a black and white, or you can buy a color printer. I use a specific color printer by Brother. Sometimes it's available still, sometimes it's not. Check out the video link in the description, and I've got a link to the Brother type of web page on Amazon. That's where I buy most of my things because I can get most of the ink and the printers really quickly through Amazon. Now, if you're going to choose a different type of label template from Avery other than the pages type of format, and you've got something that can be more in a roll that's blank, you can use a thermal printer. I personally have the Rollo printer and it's worked really well for me. I don't have the wireless one, but they do have wireless and a cord connection that you can connect via USB to your laptop or to your desktop. It's worked great for me. You can also purchase those on Amazon. I'll link that to the video description as well. There's some other printers that you can take a look at that I've reviewed on my website. It's freezedriedbusiness.com. When it comes to thermal printers, most of them don't print in color. So you got to kind of weigh the differences of a desktop printer that can print in color as well as a thermal printer that mostly prints in black and white. The thermal printers are great for two utilities, one for shipping labels and the other for product labels, but you got to be comfortable with the fact that there's just not a whole lot of color options to brand out your labels. So if you can go with the thermal printers and go with black and white, I would suggest with that because it can print really quickly and you don't have to worry about ink. Now, if you're wanting to work with color, I would suggest getting a really nice desktop type of printer that doesn't require a whole lot of color changes, and also you can use for personal use, things like that, because if you're going to buy these types of business supplies, you can write it off as a business expense, and therefore it's saving you money on the back end when you're doing your taxes, because if you use something 50% or more of the time for your business, then you can write it off as a business expense. While watching this video, if you have questions about ingredients, labels, or packaging, I've got specific videos about the 8 commonly most asked questions about packaging your freeze-dried product. I've also got a video about ingredients and labels and making sure you're having the right required information on those labels. So if you're interested in watching those videos, they're coming up in the cards above here as well as in the video description. I'll also include them in the thumbnails at the end of this video that you can click on.